or search out something that might only exist for a short amount of time. Yet with street and documentary photography, it can live on forever. Maybe it's an old building or a found hand-painted sign, all preserved in photographic imagery. I spent several years after graduate school teaching at a Montessori school in Seattle, and then in my mid-20s, I got offered a job that would change my life. It wasn't in my plan, but knowing I'd never get the same opportunity again, I jumped at the chance. That life-changing call was to work for a touring band. I was offered the job of selling their merchandise for them on the road. I visited more than 15 countries that way. When we would pull into a new venue, I would rush to set up my work so that I could spend the rest of the day exploring the city. I would try to avoid tourist haunts as much as possible, spending most of my time in areas where locals went about their daily lives. I would visit grocery and drugstores for small souvenirs, such as a tiny box of bobby pins in India, a tube of toothpaste in Italy, or a tin of biscuits in England. I'd pop into the post office for some stamps, or the local cafe just to sit and journal and people watch for a bit. I was being paid to travel, and I loved it. After selling merchandise for 6 years, I transitioned to being a travel nanny for several families, including the families of band members in Mates of State and the Flaming Lips, and the family of a NASCAR driver. These jobs allowed me to go on trips I could never have imagined. A 10-day cruise through the south of France, stopping in places like Sardinia, Corsica, and Monaco. Multiple trips to St. Bart's, visits to a private home overlooking cliffs in Mexico. While some of the trips were luxurious and not attainable for an average family, we were often near walkable areas that I could get out with the children and explore the town. Every morning, I'd take the children through the local market as the vendors set up. Then we'd pop into a foreign grocery store to learn a few words in the local language. This was before smartphones and apps. Or I'd visit a cafe for a morning coffee, usually finding one with sidewalk seating so we could sit and watch the town wake up. Every day felt like a field trip. Eventually, I made my way back to Mississippi, where I met my husband, Sean, and we had our son, Tom Otis. Sean was a touring musician for over a decade of his adult life. Before picking up the guitar, he spent the summers of his youth in the wilderness of Canada at his family's summer cottage and on backpacking excursions with his nature photographer dad and 2 brothers. Sean and I wanted to give Tom Otis the chance to explore the world as we did and learn from our combined adventures and backgrounds. For our family, doing cultural activities near and far from home has been a great way to allow Tom Otis to discover new things and learn the art of travel. From the time Tom Otis was a little boy, we've made sure that field trips are a part of his everyday life, whether it was through short lessons at home or longer trips packed with activities. When Tom Otis was younger, I ran an art and design shop called Amelia. Before I left for work each day, we'd fill our mornings with walks, art projects, and backyard bird watching. I even started a blog called My Mornings with Tom Otis to document our activities. On the days the shop was closed, we'd take road trips to explore the region where we live and pack in as much exploration and adventure as possible. Our goal was to make each day feel like a field trip, fun, but with learning involved. This book is a guide to bringing field trips into your child's daily life so that you can raise a curious and confident citizen of the world. The activities and tips are not just for families that travel the country and the world. I realize that travel is not an option for everyone. It can be costly, and many parents are not able to take enough time off from work. In these pages, you'll find attainable lessons and simple tools that you can use whether you are in your own home, walking through your neighborhood, taking a day trip to the beach, or exploring a new country. Opportunities for education are all around you. This book is